I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis. First of all, we're going to talk about the Tinyhawk giveaway before we get started with this review. I have the Tinyhawk here from Emax. If you're brand new to FPV or know somebody that's brand new to FPV, this would be an awesome thing to fly for the winter, especially indoors. Let's talk about this AC DC input charger here. I got this off Amazon, and I keep wanting to say HTRC, but it's HTRC, and they have 4 different chargers available. A C240 Duo, which doesn't have a touchscreen. It has that normal LED 2-display screen. Like, I've had a lot of those chargers. One of those over there actually has 4 screens on it, a 4-port quad charger. But this one is a Duo port with touchscreen, and this one's called the T240 Duo. Super cool because it sort of works as a bench charger with the cable in the back. You can plug it into AC, and you can also run it on 240 volt as well. So US or European standard, it works either way, and you just have to have the right plug for that. On-off switches on the back right here, and it does have a DC in on the side right here by the fan. By the way, it has 2 fans on here, 1 on each side, which is great. So you have plenty of ventilation going through this charger, which is extremely important. Also, 11 to 18 volts input on your DC battery. So if you want to run a Lipo on here, say like a 4S 16000, you can plug that into that XT60 port on the side, and you could charge your little 4S 1300s out in the field, or any of your micro batteries kind of on the go, which is super cool. I usually leave this sitting somewhere where I'm flying and charging things. So a really nice little charger, and it has dual ports in the very front, which most of us are, charging at least 2 batteries at once. If you wanted to put a balance board on here, you could charge like up to 8 batteries at once on this little charger. So you can get a lot of stuff pumping on here. But let's go ahead now and let's put it on the bench. Let me fire this thing up and show you guys what this is all about, because I think the touch screens on this and the automatic battery detection on here is also super cool. So you can set it on auto. When you plug the battery in, it automatically knows what size it is, and then all you have to do is press start, and on the fly you can change the settings or the C input, which is really neat. So a really cool little charger, and I really wanted to have one of these to show you guys. So here it is. Let's take a little closer look at the T240 Duo AC/DC charger. Okay, so before we get started, let's just go ahead and check out what comes in the box. You get a whole bunch of leads in here, and this is probably going to be a pro and a con right here. A ton of leads, as you can see, but there's no XT60 leads that have these little banana plugs on the end. Kind of unfortunate, because most of us do use XT60 plugs, but this is such an awesome charger that if you were to buy this and you got all these leads with it, I would just snip these Dean's connectors off right here and put my own XT60s on there. If you're handy with a soldering iron, for $85, this is kind of a no-brainer, because the charger itself is worth way more than just the leads that come with it. The leads that come with it are kind of an extra in this bundle. You do see some XT60s sitting here, but these are different. This is a little banana plug right here, and this is for powering this in the field. So if you wanted to charge off of your car battery, you could just plug this into the side right here, and they already give you this lead, which is really nice. So you could just plug these on your car battery terminals and charge your 4S 1300s in the field, which is really, really cool. I've done this, and I usually carry this type of lead with me in the field. So in case I need to use, say, my 4S 16000 dies, that I have a backup plan, and I can continue to charge batteries. Now, this is what your typical lead looks like with your plug on the other end for plugging straight into the battery. This is a Dean's connector. If you're not familiar with this one's one of the older connectors that have been kind of around in the hobby since the beginning of electric batteries. This was kind of the original connector that most of the airplane guys used, and now most of the RC cars use them as well. But these are kind of going the way of the Buffalo. They're really not used that much anymore, but you could snip these off and add your own XT60s on there. For the price of this charger, it's still worth the purchase to get this with all the leads here, because you could just make up your own for pennies on the dollar. The XT60 little plugs are really not that expensive, and they're on Amazon. So you can look those up on Amazon and get like little 10 packs of them. and you can make up a whole bunch of leads because you do get a lot of extras here. You also get this little plug on the end right here. This is sort of an RC car style plug. You could plug this in right here on this side like this and charge up one of your RC car batteries. So if you have any RC cars laying around, you might want to hold on to a couple of these. These are cool. You could do 2 of your NiCads at once right here. And this will do NiCad batteries as well. And then we also have this Dean's connector style plug right here, and the banana plugs on the end of that one. And then we have 2 of the XT60 to Dean's connectors out right there. So if you had a giant Dean's connector type of battery you wanted to charge off of, you could also use one of your old school batteries to use as a charger. But on the flip side, any large LiPo will charge this in the field, which is really cool. Like the ISDT chargers, this one is sort of a little more heavy duty and will also kind of double as a bench charger. I know a lot of guys that use the ISDT chargers as sort of a bench charger, but this one just has a little more options and a pretty awesome touchscreen. So let's go ahead and dive into the touchscreen real quick, and I'll show you how easy it is to set up and charge batteries on this little duo charger. Okay, so I have it plugged in the wall. Let's just go ahead and turn it on with the power supply in the back. You get that little logo load up. That's pretty cool. HT-RC.com. Check out all the features. Let me just zoom into this a little bit. This is crazy. This main screen is awesome. So right away, it gives us channel 1 and channel 2. The name of it, T240 Duo there. So we can select whatever type of battery it is we want to do. We can do calibration, we can do monitor, maybe some type of PC link there. I guess if you're gonna do a firmware update, we have memory available, settings inside, nickel metal, NiCad, PB, smart battery, LIHV, which is great because it does high voltage, which some of the chargers out there don't do. It does the LiLO batteries, lithium ion batteries, LiFe, and LiPo batteries, which is normally standard to what we're going to do. You can click on that and it'll take you on channel 2. So what that means is that's on the right hand side of your battery charger over on this side. So channel 1 would be over here. And I showed you these before, but check this out. They do have a lead that's going to work for your XT60. So you just plug this into the Dean's connector. You're just going to make sort of a little adapter over from this lead to this one. So we can take a 4S1300 and we're going to select LiPo there. Look at all the information on the screen right here. So when I plug this battery in, it's going to auto detect. Right now it's set to auto detect the cells in the battery, and right now the charge current is 4.1 amp, which is a little more than I would want to charge for. Normally I would do like 1.3 total, 1C or so on this. You don't really want to do over 2C on a 1300. So we'll see if it changes the current. Now we'll see if it does an auto detect right there. We'll give it a second. It's going to need to be plugged into the balance board. So we'll go ahead and plug it into the 4S balance port right here. And now it should auto detect. It sees that it's 4S. And right now it's set to balance charge. And so let's go ahead and change that charge current. Let's just back it all the way down to something like, let's say 1.8. Let's do 1.5. That is a more safer, moderate charge rate. Anything over 2C, it's just going to start to get really aggressive for charging your battery. So let's go ahead and hit the start button there and check this screen out. This is cool. This is really cool. External temperature, no sensor. Internal temperature, 19C. Input voltage, 16.31. And it's got like this little tiny graph display that's going across right here. And that must be the the input current, which is really neat. We have voltage 16.34, current it's 0. It says 0 amp there, capacity 0. That's pretty cool. So now we could probably switch over to channel 2 and set up another battery if we want to do that. We'll go back to channel 1 there. Let's see if we can click on any of this here. Nope. Let's look at the individual cells. This is what I was looking for. This is a really nice visual display for each different cell inside your Lipo battery. So this pack is a pretty good pack to charge with, because right now it is imbalanced. It has 4.2 volts on that, looks like that number 4 pack. And the rest of these look like they're different as well, 80%, 82, 81. But what this charger is doing right now is it's balance charging everything. So it's not putting more volts into this pack right here, which is saving the battery, which is really great. It's really important to balance charge your batteries each time you do a charge. Gives us the elapsed time there, 1 minute and 27 seconds. And then these two cells are empty because it's not a 6S, but if you went up to 5, it would show this one and this one for 6. That is pretty cool. So we'll go back to the main charge screen right there, go back. And you can see it was at a pretty standard rate right there, and then it dropped down. That is really neat. I haven't seen that on any other charger. That's a really interesting screen. And I think this represents the cells going across right here. Say cell 1, it skipped over cell 1 right there, 2, 3, and working its way toward cell 4. That is so cool. That's really cool. And this battery is pretty much charged, but it was charged without being balance charged. And that's the result of not charging with your balance plugged in. So very important to make sure that you always balance charge, so everything is all the same here. Because what can happen is that you can have an issue when you come in from flying. You could actually kill one cell in your battery pack, and then you're not going to be able to use that Lipo anymore. That is super cool. Let's go ahead and stop it right now. We can also discharge. If we want to discharge a battery, we can give a resting volt of 3.2 volts there for the end result, and that will be more safe for long-term storage. So if you're going on a trip for like 6 months, a lot of times you don't want to leave your batteries just laying around at a full charge. They always tell you to discharge them. So right now the fans are running full speed on here, and it's taking energy back out of the battery, and it's using up that energy. We have another screen graph here going across as well. So now we see our cells there, and it's working to level out all those cells. This is a really cool charger. So I'm going to stop that process. Man, those fans are really loud. So if you're discharging anything, you might want to put this in another room. That's pretty loud. If you're watching TV or something, that might be kind of annoying. But it's a very safe thing to do. You also have a quick charge right there, and this would be your storage charge. And actually your storage charge is going to bring it down. Your end voltage is going to be 3.85. Discharge current there, charge current on this side. And we could go back to that, and we could try this one. Actually stop that. We'll go back to storage here. I'll just zoom out for you, and then we'll press start again. And those fans kick on again. Same thing. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that process. But it has a lot of different things here going on with this charger. Now, one of the coolest features that I see here is the fact that you can save your settings. So normally if I'm charging at say 1.3 amp, which would be a pretty safe sort of charge rate, I can go ahead and save that. Okay, so say you wanted to charge out in the field. What I use is a 4S 16,000 milliamp. I'll try to put the link down there below for one of these. A very large battery, but it will charge your 4S 1300s quite a bit, because you're not charging all of the packs in here from zero to finish. You're actually just topping a lot of these off, so you can get a ton of charges. Now you're going to have two different types of leads to make this work. This one comes with an XT90, but you'll need something that converts over to that male XT60N. So I have a black one here, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in, and then I can plug it into the side of the charger. I'm just going to make sure this is off before I plug it in. This is the one that works with ISDT. See, it's different. So female side for ISDT to XT90 right there. And I'll just plug this in. Well, and it automatically turns on no matter if the switch is on or off. I'm just going to switch to on. That might be only for the AC input. So let's go ahead and zoom in now, and we can get a battery going on this as well. So we'll just go ahead and plug in the balance lead. And let's do it on channel 2 this time. Plug it into the 4S spot, and they're labeled right there. So if you're brand new to charging batteries, this is the way you're going to do that. Okay, and you're going to plug in your XT60 lead into your Deans right here, just like that. And then you're going to plug in your XT60 to your battery. And now we're going to select Lipo there. And it's set to auto right there. 1.5 amps. And let me just zoom into you guys. See this right here. I love this screen. This is a really nice screen. So there's an error. We have an issue. Okay. Some type of issue is happening. It might be that the battery that I'm trying to pull from is a little bit low. I'll just try to start that again. If it does it again, I'll just disconnect this. And that's a pretty loud alarm. So if you have a situation where you want to turn down the sound, it's pretty easy to do that. Just go into the settings right here, and we have channel 1 buzzer volume, middle. You can also make it low, medium, and high. Just go, and you can even turn it off if you want. But I like to have some type of buzzer on here, so it lets me know when the battery's done. So it'll beep when the battery's done. Low input voltage, that's pretty important to keep that going on there. AC power, you can change that AC power if you want. And you can change the balance speed, normal, slow. Looks like just, oh, and you can do fast there. So I wouldn't typically put it on fast. I would just leave it on normal for that. Channel 1 settings, you have internal temperature cutoff. So if this overheats, that the power charger will actually cut itself off and not start to fry and melt. External temperature cutoff, if your battery gets really hot, hotter than 60°C, it will automatically cut it off. So you don't have any type of fire. But you always want to charge. A lot of times you want to charge with these in a LiPo safe. It's just going to be a much better way for you to be able to get it out the door if it does catch fire. Safety time cutoff, 240 minutes. So if you leave it plugged in overnight, it'll turn itself off. Capacity cutoff, it looks like 10 AH right there. And channel 2 settings, same things. You can change those around. But let's go ahead and save and exit right there. And let's check out the memory. Now, this is what I saw earlier, and I told you guys I need to look at the menus or the instruction manual to figure this out. And this is where you're going to be able to change these. They say that you should have 8 different settings in here for different types of batteries. So that first one was 2S, and I want to modify that. So I'm going to make this go back down to, I want a 4S type of charge here. So I'm going to do a balance charge on that one. And right now it's set to, this actually might be on the other side. So I'm going to switch this battery on the other side to see if this works out better for us than it does a detect. Let's put this over there as well. It's probably reading from channel 1, so I'm switching it over. Okay, so now it sees that it's a 4S battery, and we don't want to charge at 5C. That's a little bit high, so let's just go ahead and back that down to something like 1.5 amp. Be a lot safer. Don't charge your 4S 1300s at 5C. It's just really abusive. Let's go all the way back down. And I know there's some people out there that do it, but I haven't done it for more than 10 years, and it's worked out really great for me with my batteries. I have some batteries that are over 8 years old and still work out really well. So now I have 4S. I want to charge at 1.5 amp. In voltage is going to be 4.20. That is very standard for your standard LiPos. If it was an HV LiPo, you'd be looking at 4.35 volts for an HV battery. So I'm going to save that. And now it should be in that list somewhere. I had to save it again. So you're going to have to press save twice. So go inside your menus here. Let's go back. Let's go back again. Let's go back to the memory there. And let's go to the modify screen again. we can see all that's been saved. So it looked like I had to save it twice, just like that. Now you can go back out, and when we go back to Lipo, we can go back to our save screen by clicking on that. And if you had 6S here or you had a 5S there, you could select your different settings, which is a really neat option. So we're going to go back and charge from the 4S version right there, automatically start that charge. That is really cool. I love that it has these cell readouts right there. And this battery is on its way to being balanced. I'm just going to leave this one going. But you guys can check this charger out in the link below. I think it's pretty cool. They sent me a link to it last week, and I've been wanting some type of touchscreen charger for a while. I've been using the LED readout screens for over 10 years now, charging Lipos, and there's a lot of chargers out there for a minimal amount of money, under $100 these days, that are fairly portable and can also double as a bench charger, which I think is great. But look at that graph. That graph is really cool. I've never seen that before on a charger. And I haven't had a lot of fancy chargers. I just use what's economical for me. And this is definitely one of the fanciest chargers I've ever seen for $85. That's really awesome. But yeah, you can charge 2 at once here, and it comes with plenty of leads. And like I said, you can just plug in their extra lead there for an XT60, Deans to Deans right here, and then they have 2 of these in the box, so you can charge your XT60 Lipos right out of the box. So you can charge up to 2 at once here anyway, and that's really all you need for now. But you could maybe take some of those other Deans connectors that came along in this box and convert them over to XT60s, and you'd be good to go. So a lot of options, guys, with this type of field battery setup here, if you wanted to run a field battery, and as well as, and that's still going there, so my 4S 1300 must be totally fine. It doesn't show me the current voltage on my 4S battery though, which is kind of interesting, because the ISDT chargers, I believe, show you the tank level, what they call the tank. It looks like a little gas pump, and it shows you the current voltage of your external battery. So overall, really, I think it's a pretty good deal. You might want to check out one of these. I'm having a good time with it, and I'm finding out more and more about this charger as I go on with it. There's just a ton of options built into it. And I think this company is kind of onto something here, so you can check them out. This is HTRC is the name of the company, and they have like 4 different chargers, but I think that this one's my favorite one. Originally, they contacted me, asked me if I wanted to do the non-touchscreen version, and I kind of said no and waited around a little bit because I really wanted to show you guys this one, and here it is. So I'm super stoked that it's here. A DC or AC charger with dual ports and touchscreen, definitely. $85 is a great value. So thanks again for watching this review, guys. This has been the T240 Duo AC or DC portable charger or bench charger. Pretty awesome deal here for the price. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.